Alright, today I'm out here again, same spot, using a little bloodworm lure, maybe 1.5 to 2 inches long, throwing it right out there between the tree and the plants and this overgrowth here. It's pretty rainy, there's a lot of water, the water's up a little bit, but there's a whole bunch of bass right down there in that area. I've been getting some bites, but I haven't been able to hook anything yet, so let's see. Grubworm bait on the first cast, got a pretty good sized bluegill here. Okay, I'm about to show you guys why you don't fish in raining conditions. It's not raining anymore, but you can see out there, probably about 4 or 5 feet out, that's where the water line usually is, right around there. A couple minutes ago, I was standing on the water line fishing. The water line has since passed me, so the water is rising while I'm standing here. So I think I'm in the middle of a flash flood. The water line was out there where it's rippling right there. That's where I was standing. Now it's all the way back over here. And it's getting higher as I speak, so yeah. Here we go, here's the edge of the water line right there. And you see it's just inching further and further towards me. At first I thought there were worms or something crawling around right here, but it's the water. Water level is actually rising. As you can see, that's all underwater now. A minute ago I was standing on that. See, the water line's now coming up over here, passing the stick. It's actually starting to rise faster. It's all the way over here. I've never actually seen this happen, so it must be raining pretty far north of here. The current's picking up too. It's starting to go a lot faster. Starting to make more noise. That stick just a second ago on the video, that stick was not underwater, now it is. And it doesn't look like it's all that scary, but this is pretty crazy. I was planning on fishing for another hour or so, but yeah, that's not gonna happen now. It's probably gonna raise up to about these roots here pretty soon. Starting to take over that rock right there in the middle. See that the water line is inching its way closer to my foot there. And that rock I just showed you a second ago is now completely underwater. I didn't even really notice it. The only thing that made me notice it was there was a tree root out there that I was standing next to, and it was a couple of inches above the water. And I looked away for a minute, looked back, and it was underwater. And as you see, it is up here, getting closer and closer to the roots. It's getting higher. It's all the way up to my shoe now. I know I keep saying I'm gonna get out of here, but I'm sticking around, but this is pretty crazy. And it's not rising like a tidal wave or anything like that, but just a second ago I was standing out there, and now I'm all the way back up on the roots here. There's usually a bunch of lily pads right out here in the middle. That's where I caught that bass in that one video. There's usually a bunch of lily pads and other plants right there that are above the water. Everything is underwater now. And there's a root here. See the water getting closer and closer to the roots. That end, the water is actually right there in the center of the screen. Water just passed this first root. It's going up to the second root. See, there's a good puddle there now. It's spreading out over here. Still seeing some signs of life though. Turtles, small fish, but I don't know how they're not getting washed away. All that water just past those roots. Still going. It's almost up to the tree. See how close it is to the tree here? It's only about 2 feet away from the tree. Normally I have about 15 feet away from the tree where I can walk out there. Right, this is normally where I keep all my gear, is right out there. If I had my tackle box and everything with me, it'd be washed away now. See, a part of this root's now underwater. And that was completely dry a minute ago. That's my way out of here, so if I start getting pushed back too much farther, I'm gonna have to go. Somebody's old Aerosmith t-shirt they left behind. The water's now up to the tree, completely up to the tree, all the way up to this tree. No longer 2 feet away, it is at the tree. And this water level's risen at least a foot since I've been standing here. Since I started recording this, I'm coming up on 8 minutes now. Check out this area over here. It's a lot clearer over here because you know where the water line is supposed to be. This root goes out, follows out that way. It's the water line. The water is all the way up over here, filling up these puddles on this side. Still got a ways to go before it gets up over here. But right out here, this was all. I had a couple of feet. I was able to walk out on some rocks right out there. There's usually a little island right there where those lily pads are. It's supposed to be a little island, but it's gone. Duck's trying to get away. He's getting washed down. See if he makes it across. Alright, seems like he found a nice little calm area there, but he's still trying to go upstream. Look at this. See the water just... The water, there's actually a hole right there. Somebody dug for their fishing pole. That's, the water is just pumping up out of that hole. And it's filling up this puddle here. There's another hole over there for a fishing pole. Right there, dead center of the screen at the edge of those two roots. But this one right here, the water is just pumping up out of that. Look at that. And this is where I normally put my fishing rod when I throw out a line. The water's all up over here now. It's getting ready to overtake that little bit. It's up pretty good now. It's not just pumping out of there. It's coming from this side now. It's made a connection to the water there that wasn't an island. Now it's an island. So it's filling up this puddle right here where I'm standing. I'm running out of memory before I finish this. Now it's coming over here, filling up over here. You know what? I'm actually getting surrounded here. I've got about 15 seconds left of memory. But look at this. Look how quickly this filled up right here next to me. The water level's up almost over the root now. That island over there is almost gone. Okay. I deleted the video, so I got a little bit more time. But look at that. That's completely underwater now. All the way up to this tree. I kind of want to keep fishing, but because I'm starting to see some big fish out there slapping their tails at the surface, but I don't know, I can't do this. I'm trying to get out of here. This was all dry 10 minutes ago. Now it's about a foot of water there, down right there. That's probably about 8 inches deep, and the water is just rising, still rising. Try to get out of here. Look over here where that t-shirt is. The water is now around the tree completely. This is all area where I usually stand. Everything that's underwater, that's all where I'm usually standing to fish. Now the fish are up here. And it's still going. Still rising. That's why you need to pay attention to your surroundings. If I'd been concentrating on fishing and not paying attention, I'd be all wet right now. Alright, I'm gonna call it a night. I'm gonna head on, get up here. So you can see the water line has gotten up to here where the trail is before. That's why this route's washed out. So hopefully it's not gonna get that high. But I don't know, that's just crazy. I've never seen anything. I've never been involved in something like this before. See, the water was clear a few minutes ago. Now it's all murky and dirty. There's all kinds of debris floating down. It's a pretty high speed up there. A lot of water coming through. I don't know if all the way down at the end there. See all kinds of debris floating up into this bend. Pretty soon, that section right there in the center is going to be underwater. That's the last dry part there. Alright, that's enough for me. I'm getting out of here. And see, it looks like rapids down there. See all the debris and stuff floating here. I don't want to walk out too far. This ground's pretty soft right here. You can see where it collapsed right there. Alright, getting out of here. See ya.